Hi everyone, I'm Rincey and this is Rincey Reads. I'm taking a little bit of a break from Bout of Books to record this book review because I was so enthralled by this book. I really wanted to get a book review up right away. And that book is When You Reach Me by Rebecca Stead. This story follows Miranda, who is in 6th grade, and there are a lot of changes going on in her life. First, her best friend Stan decides that he doesn't want to be friends with Miranda anymore. And then the spare key that her and her mother keep hidden away is stolen, and it seems like their apartment is broken into. And then Miranda finds notes from someone, she's not exactly sure who, that are addressed to her and are kind of mysterious and she can't really figure out what's going on. But you basically follow Miranda throughout what's basically a couple months or a year. Time isn't exactly super clear in this book, but you're basically following Miranda as she's growing up and just dealing with her classmates and her friends and just everything that you have to deal with when you are in 6th grade and growing up. I don't know why, but I had relatively low expectations going into this book, which might be why I was so in love with it. Generally, I have a pretty shaky history with middle grade novels, but I guess this isn't considered a middle grade. It's considered young adult because the age range posted on the back is grades 8 through 12, which is technically young adult, but since the character in here is in 6th grade, I considered it a middle grade novel. Like I mentioned in my previous Bout of Books video, I was reading this for Bout of Books and I started this on Tuesday and I could not stop reading it. Like, I was reading other books and my mind kept wandering back to this one because the story was so compelling, the writing was just really captivating, and it just really made me want to know what was going to happen with these characters. The story jumps around in time a little bit, which can occasionally be confusing, or maybe it's just confusing to me who is reading like 3 books at one time. But overall, it really works, and I absolutely adored Miranda. I feel like anyone who's been in 6th grade will be able to relate to her or be able to relate to one of the other characters in this book. She lives in New York City, and it's actually mentioned in here that there are people of color in this story, which is absolutely fabulous. And it's a story that doesn't completely ignore that fact either. It is touched upon. The story does take place in the late 1970s in New York City, so there are definitely things that happen in here that, you know, wouldn't happen normally, like kids being left alone without parental supervision. This book is a super fast read. I probably could have read it in one day if I really wanted to, but I was trying to pace myself for Bout of Books because I wanted this to be my workbook, but I couldn't pace myself because I enjoyed it so much. The words in here are like super huge and things like that, so really you could probably read this in a single sitting. Even if you're someone who doesn't read a lot of children's or YA books, I definitely still recommend this book. Also, I know that other people have read this book. If you have read any of Rebecca Stead's other books, definitely let me know if they compare to this one, because I definitely want to check out more of her stuff now that I've read this and completely falling in love with it. I'm not going to say too much more about this book because there are sort of twists and interesting developments that happen and I don't want to give too much away, but there was definitely a point in the book where I was just like, what is happening? I can't believe that this is true. I will say that there is one aspect of the story that I was able to guess, but that didn't take away from my experience reading this book. I feel like if you are in this age range though, you will definitely love this book, or if you know kids who are in this age range, give them this book. In the end, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. Again, I really highly recommend it to everyone. As usual, if you have read this book, feel free to leave your comments down below letting me know what you thought of it. Also, like I mentioned earlier, if you have read any of Rebecca Stead's other books, feel free to leave your comments down below letting me know what you thought of those and if those are worth picking up. So yeah, that's all I have for now, and thanks for watching.